Starting her career at a fairly young age, Dafne Keen has already been in a number of fantastic movies and shows. Born in 2005, the Spanish and British actress got her start at just 10 years old in the TV series, The Refugees. After that, she had her breakthrough with 2017's Logan as Wolverine's daughter, Laura, X-23. After her initial role as Laura, Dafne Keen appeared in a handful of other projects, including leading the BBC One HBO adaptation of His Dark Materials, and found a place within the Star Wars franchise with her great role in The Acolyte. She returned to her role of X-23 for Deadpool and Wolverine, and has expressed interest in playing the character in future MCU projects. Despite still being so early in her career, Dafne Keen has built an impressive resume as an actor, and looks to have a bright future in Hollywood with the upcoming horror film, Whistle. There is a lot to like about Dafne Keen's filmography so far, with some truly fantastic projects already to her name. Every actor has to start somewhere in their career, and for Dafne Keen, her first role came in the TV series, The Refugees, in 2015. The series revolves around a rural community faced with millions of refugees who come from the future, seeking shelter in the present. It's an interesting premise but doesn't quite explore it to its fullest, running for only one season for a total of 8 episodes. It's still a solid entry in Dafne Keen's filmography, but also the weakest of the bunch. Despite only being 10 years old at the time, Dafne Keen already showed a lot of promise with her performance, with glimpses of greatness she would show the world just a few years later. One of the coolest aspects of Dafne Keen in The Refugees is that she acted alongside her father, Will Keen, who was one of the series' leads released in 2020. Anna tells the story of a used car salesman taking a young girl on a road trip after being placed in his care. It's set in the aftermath of Hurricane Maria in Puerto Rico, highlighting the struggles they faced after. It's a tender, heartfelt film about two people who are so different from each other, but begin to form a familial bond throughout. Despite being released in 2020, Anna was actually shot just a few months after Logan came out, which marks the first acting job for Dafne Keen after Logan. Her performance as Anna is a highlight of the film, showing vulnerability and toughness in equal parts, taking on a character that shares similarities to her role as Laura in Logan, but with even more differences. Dafne Keen continued to show how good of a child actor she actually was. Star Wars has grown incredibly divisive over the years, and The Acolyte got the full wrath from those who despise everything that Disney has done with the franchise. Still, The Acolyte isn't nearly as bad as many might be led to believe. In fact, it is pretty good, existing as the earliest movie or show in the timeline, showing off the High Republic and having some of the best fight choreography from the entire franchise. On top of that, Dafne Keen was really great in it. One aspect of The Acolyte that is undeniable is how great Dafne Keen is in her role as Jecki Lon, a Padawan that is shown to be incredibly skilled with a lightsaber. Keen is more stoic than ever as Jecki, but she does an admirable job, and her ending on the show is both incredibly cool and also quite tragic, with one of the best lightsaber duels in the entire franchise. 7 years after Dafne Keen's breakthrough in Logan, she returned to her role of X-23 for Deadpool and Wolverine. It proved a smart move, as Deadpool and Wolverine became the highest-grossing R-rated movie of all time, and one of Marvel's biggest films ever. Featuring a multiverse-spanning plot, Deadpool and Wolverine had all the gleeful, violent wackiness associated with Deadpool, while marking the return of Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. Though Dafne Keen reprises her breakthrough role, Laura doesn't get nearly as much screen time as she did in Logan. Still, Keen shows that she still has what it takes to play the character, retaining a lot of her signature physicality during her fight scenes, while also being able to communicate with Jackman's Wolverine on a much deeper level, given how much older the character is now. The decision to keep her as the same variant that was featured in Logan was brilliant, and with the door open for her possible return in the future, Deadpool and Wolverine could be the next stepping stone in her career.